My name is Ricky Murph. I'm from Helena, West Helena, Arkansas, aka Helltown. And I'm in a wheelchair. Around the end of January 2012, beginning of February, I was on vacation. I was living in California, Richmond, Bay Area. I was on vacation to come to visit my family, my loved ones, my daughter, my mother, my father, friends, etc. I was here for like a week or two, and it was about time for me to leave. So my family and my friends asked me to go to the club to party, throw a little party for me, like a going away party. So I agreed to it, and it was jumping at the Hut. Nice little spot. Grew up at that spot, and after we left the Hut, it was over. I got invited to go to another club at the 44. It was named the Bad Apple at the time, and I really didn't want to go, but I did. And when I went, my life changed forever. This is where it all happened, man. It all went down right here, man. Poison apple at this club, man. Valentine's Day.
How did you get from out the club to this spot right here? Where was he parked at?
Actually, he wasn't parked anywhere, man. I was inside the club. I was standing like right here, man. My guy, man, we was talking. He was from here, but he had to leave early, man, because he had to go back out of town, man. So we had kind of shook hands, and I was waiting on my ride to come up.
In this spot right here?
In this spot right here. So I turned around, waiting on my ride to come from this area, this way, down that way, right? So as I seen the ride coming up.
Was it any other people standing around out here?
There was a lot of people around. It was a lot of people, but I wasn't just talking to me. They wasn't just talking to me because the club was packed that night.
Right.
It was the holiday, so you know, it was a lot of people's out.
And this was at nighttime?
It was at nighttime.
And all this area had people standing around?
It was like about 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was standing. It was live, man. It might not look like nothing now, man, but this place was packed from one end to the other end, man. There was a lot of people's out here that night. So, you know, I'm waiting on the car to come pick me up. All right, I was waiting on my ride to come from getting the car, so they was coming, and I seen the car coming, but like 2 cars ahead of it was a SUV.
Right.
And as the SUV was coming up, man, I seen a guy just hanging out of it. And once he got close enough, I seen him holding a weapon.
Right.
So I seen him about to shoot. So when I seen him about to shoot, I told him it was me. So I turned towards the side like this, trying to run, about to run, but he shot, and it hit me in my side.
And this was right here in this area?
Right here, and I fell, like right here in this area, right here.
Right.
I mean, so when I fell, the truck was literally hovering over me. Literally over me, not in the street, it was over me. So I told the guy, I said, hey, yo, you got the wrong guy. And he shot me again in my arm.
While you was laying on the ground?
While I was laying on the ground, he shot me again. And then the final shot, I reached up and I told him, hey, man, you got the wrong guy. As again, I was on the ground. He shot me in my hand. And that was basically, it could have been a face shot because I had my hand in front of my face.
So the truck was parked right here?
Yeah, the truck
was hanging out the window?
He was hanging. He literally had his hand over me like this. So the last shot, I played dead. So I didn't say anything. I thought to myself, hey, you steady saying something to him, he steady shooting you. So I laid there and probably like 3-4 seconds went by, man. And then all of a sudden he just unloaded the gun he had, like, bah, 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 bah. All I felt was shells just dropping over me, and I felt like I was getting hit, but I wasn't getting hit. The guy started shooting at the guy that he was really into it over here by the door. See the entrance coming out?
So why was he shooting at you?
He thought that I was the guy, I believe, because
we
got dressed alike.
So it was mistaken identity?
Mistaken identity. He thought I was the guy that he got into it. He was drunk. Me and this guy was dressed alike, but it was the wrong guy. So when he came out this door, you see this door? He came out, he noticed that he was shooting at the wrong person. So he started shooting at him as he ran over in this grass. It was over this grass, it was a sheriff car parked. He ran over there towards the sheriff car, and as he was running, he got shot in the foot. You know what I mean? But at the time, I didn't know that. At the time, I felt like all those bullets was hitting me because I got shot 3 times already. Not at the time, I didn't know how many times, but you know what I mean. I just felt like all those shells was hitting me. So when he pulled off, I'm still laying here. Cars was everywhere. They was trying to like lined up. They was trying to go. So I almost got ran over. The car that was waiting to pull us up and started screaming. He been shot. He opened the door. My cousin came. I don't know where my cousin came from exactly, but I was laying right here. Because when I got hit, I was somewhere up, but I scrubbed myself back as he was shooting. I had kind of moved myself back under a car. The car was like parked in this grass. I had kind of rolled up under a car up under here.
Right.
So my cousin came and snatched me up from under the car, and because I told him I'm shot, but he told me to get up, let's go. And when he let me go, I automatically fell right back to the concrete. I was bleeding. I felt my life just slipping. I couldn't feel my legs. I knew instantly that I was paralyzed. But I didn't want to believe it, but I knew it. He kept shooting because the guy that he was into it with, beefing with, he saw him, so he started shooting. But I thought the bullet was hitting me because the shells was coming over my body. And it hit him once in the foot as he ran. And he pulled off. And when he pulled off, people were scrambling, trying to find out where I was. And the person that pulled up I was with went to screaming I was shot. So it got my cousin's attention, which he came and scooped me up, and I told him I couldn't walk, and I fell back to the ground. It's like one of the hardest moments of my life. Another friend of mine came and scooped me up and put me in the car. And as we rolled off, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't feel the pain because the adrenaline was flowing through my body, but I felt myself couldn't breathe. So my cousin was in there, was with me. My cousin was in the back seat screaming was all right, but I can hear him vaguely. And every time I opened my eyes, I lost color. It was like 1 minute I could see everything in color, and the next second I opened my eyes, it was in black and white. And they was rushing me to the hospital because it was literally like a half a mile away. I couldn't breathe, my breath was getting shorter as I was like rocking back and forth, so only thing was going through my mind was to tell my cousin, tell my kids that I love them. And those was like the last words I remember saying to anybody before I woke up. And he was like, what's wrong? And I told him I can't feel my legs. So I was surrounded at that point. I was surrounded by people, friends, and a lot of instigators just to see what was going on. I was surrounded, I was swamped, I couldn't breathe. And I was screaming, man, get me out of here, get me out of here. Another guy came through and picked me up, scooped me up like I was a child dog. He was just that strong. He picked me up and put me in the car that I was put, and we was off to the hospital on this road right here as we speak. We was off to the hospital. The hospital is about like half a mile from here.
Right.
And I passed out before I got to the stop sign down there. I don't remember anything except the words I had told my cousin while he was in the back seat is that I know I'm about to die, so just tell my kids that I love them. Because I was so terrified about what was going on because I couldn't see nothing but white. I couldn't see nothing but light, and I was scared because, you know, they always said don't go into the light, don't go into the light, but when you constantly closing your eyes and opening up and then all you see was that bright light, you know what I mean, it was panicking. But when I woke up, I was in the hospital, but yeah, this is the spot where it all happened to me. This is the location. 12 years ago today. 12 years ago in February. This is the spot that changed my life. When I woke up, man, I can remember it was the hardest thing I ever dealt with, man. I couldn't move my legs. I had a tube in my mouth. I had a tube in my side, in both sides. I had a tube and, you know, my private. I had IVs. And this that I had tubes on my nose. I thought it was the next day. I actually thought it was the next day. I was in a coma for 7 days. And in my mind, I was screaming. When I first woke up, my first thought was my baby mama. She was my wife at my time. It was my baby mama, and I screamed out. And when I got the paper, that's all it was about, because I didn't know what else to do. And she always helped me down. And doctors came in and they pulled this tube that was literally in my chest from my mouth, if I can breathe on my own, to the point that I got a permanent filter to keep it inflated. It's stressful. When they pulled the tube out, I couldn't talk for a day or two. I had to literally write everything on paper. I had a lot of family and friends supporting me, a lot, but people didn't understand that my life had changed, and it changed drastically, and it changed for the worse. So the hospital stay was about like a week, and when I came home, it was a different world. And the thing about it, when I got shot, man, and when I say it was a life-changing moment, man, you know what I mean? It was very life-changing, because, like, on the way there, like, you know what I mean? When I passed out and I was in the hospital, I was pronounced dead. I was pronounced dead for about like 3 minutes, man. Like, my guy, I really didn't make it. I really didn't really make it, man. It was just my family, man. My family and my friends was there. The Lord was on my side, and my family threatened them doctors, like, said, man, you need to get up in there, man. And so, to the point that they wouldn't really just let them out that room, the emergency room. So they just said they had to go give it one more try, man. And during that time, about 3 to 5 minutes had passed by, I was laying on that table, man. But that last try, man, it was the Lord's will that I came back. They got a heartbeat out of me, man, because the bullet, man, the bullet traveled, had punctured my lung and broke several bones and ended like 3 millimeters, 3 centimeters from my heart, man. Wasn't even an inch, man, from my heart. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't operate on me because they were scared if they cut me open and shit, man, it could go into an artery or something, clog it up, anything can happen, man. So, you know what I mean? It was a blessing that I lived through that, man. A couple surgeries and stuff, a couple repairs, man, and I'm still here today to tell about it, man. But yeah, I wasn't here, man. I wasn't here for about 3 to 5 minutes, man. And it was the Lord's blessing, man, and my family, man, that I'm here today.